Newburyport Historical Commission. It's Thursday, August 14th, I believe, 2025. We're in the senior center and we've got some folks via Zoom as well. Please note this meeting, like all city meetings, is being recorded. Go ahead and start with a roll call. Let's see, I'm not sure who all's online, who's here, so I'll just, Andrew Bernhardt. Please said he was not coming.
I think he did see it.
Mark Sandron. No. All right, Scott Clark. Here's about you. Chris Fay. Here. Alan Markey.
Here.
Thank you. Ed Normer. Here. Thank you. Glenn Richards.
Here.
Thank you. And Chris Sautel.
Here.
Thank you, sir. And the chair, myself, Beth House, is here as well. We've got Caitlin Sullivan and Gretchen Joy. Can you hear us online?
I can.
Great, thank you. All right, we'll start off with demolition delay for 18 Union Street.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the commission. For the record, Lisa Mead, lead Talent and Costa, 30 Green Street in Newburyport, and this evening is the architect on the project, Kevin Latati. And our clients are David and Nellie Kitchen, and as of this morning, they welcomed Louisa Beatrice at 6 pounds 9 ounces.
Oh, wow.
And so we need the new kitchen in the kitchen's house. So they're not able to be here with us because they are otherwise occupied. We're here for a demolition delay review for 18 Union Street. If you could go to the next slide. So the property is in the R2 and the DCOD zoning district. It's a single family home and the kitchen's proposed to remove a 1-story addition that was constructed in 2016 in the rear and construct a 2-story addition, which is gonna change some roof lines and things like that in the rear. And then on the easterly elevation, they intend to change the they intend to change the roof pitch of the shed roof that comes out over the mudroom so they can get some headroom in there. And then they're gonna make a few other changes, which Kevin's gonna go over. On the front elevation, they're merely fixing a window, affixing a window. And then on the westerly elevation, they will be changing some windows, replacing windows with 6/6 windows. The current windows are not original. Next slide, please. So for your historic significance review, the structure was built in and around 1780 according to the Form B. Where it is described as a colonial, and the assessor's records indicate the home was built around 1800. The district data sheets show that the house was 1750 and is described as a central chimney half house on which the home is listed as contributory. Next slide, please. So here is my maps. So you can see Union Street, Merrimack River would be up to the top right of the page. And this is a fairly large lot. In fact, the lot is entirely conforming except for this side yard. The mudroom on the side is a little bit too close to the front yard. And of course the front yard setback. And you can see the 1-story addition in the back, which will show better in elevation shortly. Next slide, please. And here's the 1924 assessor's map. The Sanborn maps don't go all the way out to this end of the city. But here's the 1924 assessor's map, and you can see the home with that X on in the middle of the page. Next slide, please. And here's the Form B. So you can see looking easterly on Union Street, you can see the side elevation there. I think even those windows there are replacement windows in that photograph.
Yeah, and actually in that period, that photograph, the siding was asbestos shingles.
Next slide, please. So the structure is over 75 years old. We require demolition delay review. And we request you make a determination that it's historically significant.
Great, thank you. I'll turn it around to the board. I will mention that Mark Sandrone has joined us, so
With my apologies,
it's all right.
please.
You've got most of you were here for most of it anyway, so. Does anyone have any questions? Comments? Yes,
Seems worthy of consideration of preservation, historically significant to me.
okay.
A beautiful house.
Well, if you would,
Want to hear a motion?
yeah, did you wanna?
Oh, sure. I'll present a motion that the structure is historically significant and considered for preservation.
So we're gonna combine those?
If no one objects.
Okay.
It's kind of historically significant by definition, but anyways.
All right, there's a motion, that the structure 18 Union Street is historically significant and is considered for preservation. Glenn has made that. Anyone want to second that?
I'll second it, Mark Sandron.
Thank you, Mark. All right, we'll start with you, Mark.
Yes.
Yay or nay? Yay. Scott Clark,
Yes.
Chris Fay,
Yes.
Alan Markey,
yes,
Ed Normer,
Yes.
Glenn Richards,
Yes,
Chris Sautel.
yes,
Thank you. And I vote yes as well, so that passes. And we can move on to the presentation.
Thank you. And so now we would request that you review what we're about to propose to you and lift the demolition delay. So the next slide, please. So I'm gonna go through a series of photographs so you can see the setting in the neighborhood. So this is across the street on Union Street. Next slide, please. And here's looking at the westerly side of the house. Backyard's got a beautiful yard. Next slide, please. Here's further down on Union Street, closer to Marlborough Street. Next slide, please. And here's the easterly side, and that's the roof line. We want to change a little bit there. Kevin will talk a little bit about that. Next,
which one, the little shed, that
Yeah.
part?
yeah, yep, on that mudroom right there.
Okay.
Next slide, please. And then, so here's looking down, we're on the side of the street, where that flag is, that's the side of the street where the structure is, and then you can see the homes on the opposite side of the street, which is the northerly side. Next slide, please. And here's the series of homes, including ours at the far end, and the two right before it. Next slide, please. It's a great row of homes there. And then here's looking a little bit further back, westerly down Union Street. Next slide. And on the opposite side, and next slide. And then I just stepped back a little bit further so you can see the setting as it moves down Union Street in easterly direction. Next slide, please. And then this is on the opposite side, again, looking towards Marlborough Street, right before Woodwell. Next slide. So, as I said, the proposed renovation will be the removal of one-story 2016 addition in the back and some renovations that Kevin's gonna go through. That easterly side mudroom to lift the roof on that a little bit, change that pitch so somebody can stand up in it. And as I said earlier, the change to the front elevation is to affix one of the windows, which Kevin will point out. And there will be new windows on the rear and the westerly side with 6/6, consistent with the rest of the windows with 3D munits. So next slide, please. And here's the site plan, just to give you an idea, again, the footprint of this house is not changing, by the way. And so Kevin will review what that is all about. But the box basically is staying the same.
We're adding to the.
That back section, right? But nothing in the front, elevation or that easterly elevation. And, I'm gonna turn it over to Kevin to go over the next slide, which is the starting of the architectural drawings.
So these drawings show the existing structure of the house and the square footages of what's there and what we're changing. in the upper left-hand corner. Hopefully you can read that because I can't.
Can you zoom in on that?
No, they have everything electronic.
So those are the alterations, the existing and the alterations. So the totals of alterations 18.5%.
That's the facade demolition, right? So those are the demolition numbers, so we're under the DCFD numbers. So next slide, please. There we
So
go.
these are the upper ones are the existing elevations, and the lower ones are the proposed changes to those elevations. So the front elevation on the lower left, there's a lower window that we're fixing in place. There's a laundry room in there, and we're just relocating the appliances. So we need to fix that window. On the lower right-hand side is the proposed two-story addition, essentially creating a kitchen L to the house. The upper right-hand is the current one-story addition, and looking beyond at the two-story addition that's to the west side of the house with the dormer that's up there. The dormer is remaining, but we're which is further back, but the one-story addition is being taken off and extended to enlarge the kitchen. The kitchen right now, and that small one-story addition is essentially a galley kitchen. And homeowners both love to cook, and the current kitchen, we barely fit two people working back to back, so they wanted to update that and add a bedroom as well.
While you're on this sheet, yeah, you wanna go over the.
Oh, yeah, the
roof?
porch,
Yeah.
so there's a farmer's porch being extended beyond the current mudroom. The current mudroom is primarily used, it's a very small room, primarily used for a lot of the wood. I barely clear the door walking into the side of it. I'm a little bit unusual, I think, being 6'4", but I'm short of my family. But we wanted to add that farmer's porch and then lift the mudroom porch to keep that farmer's porch at a similar pitch all the way across. As opposed to raising the farmer's porch and then keeping the lower pitch of the mudroom and having this weird juxtaposition. So we want to make it a more consistent line to.
I have a question on it, so just make sure I understand it correctly, so where that little roof meets the house, looks like that's gonna be the same spot. But the outer part is lifted up
Right.
for a shallow pitch, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Got it,
And if you look at the left hand, so if you look at the current existing condition of the front
Mhm.
elevation, the left top,
yeah,
you can see that on the existing condition, and if
Right.
you look down, you can just see how that pitch has
Yeah.
changed slightly.
okay, thanks, that's,
So, yeah, the launching is the same, but rising up.
okay,
So basically lifting up your baseball cap.
okay.
Next slide. And so this is following around the other side, so that's upper left and upper right are the existing facades. You can see in the sort of shaded red what is being taken off on the upper left. And then on the upper right, you can see where we're relocating some windows, and in the upstairs bedroom on the west side, there's actually no windows in that bedroom on the west side, so we're adding some windows to bring natural light in. Which in a historic house, that was the only light. And then the lower shows the proposed additions, elevations.
The addition in the back is obviously lower than the original structure, so it's subservient in height. And stepped in, as you can see, the second part of it, where they redo that dormer, still stepped in on the side. Doesn't extend out any further than the existing structure at the front on the left-hand side of the lower addition well, but you can see where the two-story is added.
Okay,
Are you gonna talk about the materials?
Materials, I mean, everything is, when they did the house over in 2016, they did a very nice feature where they did the clappers in the proper way with a scarf joint. So that's all throughout the house, so we're replicating all that joinery so that it feels that we weren't there. You know, the idea when we're done is like, we don't exist. So we wanted to feel in kind with what's there now and how it's constructed. All the new windows will be, wood windows, with the same detailing as the windows that they had done, and the windows that are on the house now are replicas of historic windows, they're not the original windows. They did a fairly nice job, except for they don't really operate that well, other than that. But all the new windows will be full wood windows, historical detailing to match the existing windows. If they were the original windows, you all know Allison from Window Women. She's a good friend. We argue who's more crazy about keeping historic windows and not throwing away windows. So unfortunately, these aren't any of the originals, but they're nicely made. The roof shingles will match what's there, which are architectural asphalt shingles. Paint color will probably match. We could probably repaint the whole house because it's in need of it, but I believe they're keeping the same color. We like that color. I think that's about all the updates on the materials.
All right, I'll throw it around the board if anyone has any questions.
They're curious about one thing, but it's not too critically, so the L, it's, that gives it that salt box appearance on that left side. Any idea when that was put on?
That was all done, on the west side, that was all done in 2016. So prior to 2016, it had the original box.
And that was it.
And that was it. And in 2016, they added the west addition, which was a master bedroom.
I see, with the dormer and all
With
that.
a dormer.
Okay,
So that was all new.
but they just followed that same roof pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the broken salt box, they follow the same pitch. Towards the upper roof, but they made a broken salt box towards the back of the house to incorporate the kitchen addition, sort of kitchen addition. They did a nice job, it just, kitchen was really small.
Any questions or? We need to open up for public comment. There's anyone here or anyone online that like to speak about this project? Do so now. If you're online, you can raise your hand and we'll call you out. I hear crickets. All right, so moving on. Public comment is closed. So I guess back to the board, our next step would be to consider if this is preferably preserved.
So I was waiting to see if anyone else had a comment or question, which apparently you don't, so I guess it's up to me.
Well, this is the time.
So we're adding a kitchen, yes?
Yes,
It's a two-story kitchen?
it's a one-story kitchen and a bedroom above,
Okay, so we're adding a kitchen out of
and a
it.
bedroom, correct.
Okay, so we should make that clear. I used to live around the corner. I used to live on the corner of Marlboro and Union Street, so I'm familiar with the street, walked up and down my kids' bikes, etc. That side of the street, there's I walked down there maybe like 6 months ago, maybe a year ago. I was shocked. Now there was a split level that's got a weird addition on it.
It's been there a long time. right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I left in 2001, I guess.
It happened probably in the early, but just so it wasn't my project, it happened, it probably happened shortly after that.
Yeah, the split level. I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
But looks really, it's like a black house now with a huge addition in the back. Yeah, it's like right next to the split level. I was shocked. And then as you keep going further down, there's this house, there's a little blue house, before you get to Woodwell, between Marlboro and Woodwell, there's a couple of smaller side facing ones. this, it's like, this just seems too much to me. So we have a 2016 edition that's not working for the current family, right? Would that be a fair assessment?
Mhm.
Okay, so if we were meeting in 2016, mudroom, addition in the back, dormer, you guys know where I would have stood on that.
Hmm.
Partly because it doesn't fit with the house and partly because it's just a fashion and fad of the day, right? So we're adding a farmer's porch that's not consistent. Was there ever a farmer's porch there with this house that may go back to 1750 to get back to, fashion and fad of the day? I want this, I want this. You know where I'm coming from. We've been doing this sort of go around for about, well, at least I've been for 9 years or so. So I have to speak for the house. The mudroom goes, it's replaced by a farmer's porch.
Mudroom stays, but it just,
It's extended.
Okay, the mudroom, you've heard me talk about mudrooms. When the house was built, everything was mudroom, right? I understand the conveniences, I'm not saying that we can't have.
The mudroom
everything.
exists.
It existed since the time it was built.
Yeah, can we go back to the photograph?
Okay, so it's original to the house.
I don't know if it's original,
Okay.
But it
but
exists.
it's been there for a long time if you look at the way it was
Okay,
constructed,
fair.
so it's
I see.
certainly
We're
done in the.
not building the mudroom, it exists.
No, I know, but we're adding something that's not consistent with the house, we're adding that second story on the back. I have issues with it, that's all I'll say, I think it's too much massing, I know that it's in the back, I know that as you walk down Union Street, you can see clearly what's going on in the back of this house. For me, it's a bridge too far, that's just my 2 cents. You ever been to Portsmouth?
Yeah.
You ever been to Cobb restaurant?
No,
It's a down an alleyway in the Cobb.
maybe I
They have this tiny little kitchen, where it's fascinating, if you sit in the kitchen, you can watch like 4 people
It's a
work in this kitchen without like killing each other.
Yeah.
And it's some fantastic food. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
I don't have to spell that, right?
Just for some perspective, do you have, relative to the massing question, like the total square footage, how much that's being expanded with the proposed addition?
Not off the top of my head, yeah.
Alan, did you have something?
Yeah, I actually don't have a problem with the addition of the back. I think that's sort of how cities and neighborhoods expand even during the times of the 1800s, right? They just, families grew and they added on to them. But I would agree with the porch. It seems inconsistent with that style of home of that time. To me, the addition's it's not offensive. There's already that addition that was added on in 2016. Yes, it's going to be adding some massing, but I think it's done well. The porch is something different. So I think that's the only objection that I would have with the whole thing.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Chris Hotel, do you have anything?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
No.
Here.
I'll just comment that I agree more or less with Alan, well, put it this way. If you look at the existing rear, it's kind of a hodgepodgey mishmash of roof lines and eaves and crooks and valleys, and it's kind of a mess in a way. You can see in the lower right portion photo there. So I think, to me, architecturally speaking, this addition is, sensitively designed. It's, I question whether do you want it to look so much like, with scarfing or skiving the clouds and all that? Is there a danger of trying to make it look like it was always there or not? That's debate about that, but to me, it seems like the kind of addition that I think, as Alan said, it would be kind of typical to expand on some of these rather small houses from, the late 18th century, early 19th, to provide for expanding families, more modern, a real kitchen compared to what they would have had back then and so on. So it's not highly offensive, and I understand people's feelings about the porch. I don't know, it's kind of hidden behind the mudroom for the street view. So I don't know, I agree that isn't really characteristic of that period house, but it's also not, I don't find it highly offensive either, though. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Just out of curiosity, I noticed that they're removing skylights on the back roof line, which is kind of a surprise to me. You know, normally people are trying to sneak them in. And was it their desire, like historically, to?
I'm not a fan of skylights in the historic houses,
Yeah,
but it just happened to be in the way of
some
the
others.
addition we're doing.
Got it. Okay.
I grew up in historic houses and you know, one of the things I love, and this is what I do, I specialize in old and historic homes. What I love about old and historic homes is the evolution of the homes as they expand their families, et cetera. I mean, I just moved from a 1730 farmhouse in Bedford. And there was, you know, again, 1730, they didn't have a front porch on it, but in 1800, they put a front porch on the house. And they took the center chimney out in 1800 and put 2 chimneys in the 2 front rooms. Took all the bricks and lined the front facade with all the bricks, so they became a solar oven in the winter, and then the summer with the deciduous trees blanketed. So it's, I enjoy how historic homes have evolved over time to adapt to the needs of the current, but also being respectful of the lines of the historic structure as well, which is what I try to do.
Any other comments from the board?
I just have a quick comment.
Yeah,
While what was done in 2016 is pretty egregious, the improvements are certainly there with this new design, I think, and are fairly respectful. It does change the volumes in the house fairly significantly, but having walked by there, it doesn't look like it would be seen by the street, from the street very much. Am I correct on stating that?
Certainly if you're walking up Union heading
you see
east,
them on the top right.
you wouldn't see it at all. If you're heading down and you're this close, you would see it, but as you back up, you know, again, as the house opens up, as you come closer to it, you'd see it, but again, it's, you know, the primary part of the house is the front facade, and I think, you know, that stays the focal point of the house.
I do think this view is helpful, especially since there's several folks mentioning that porch addition, because it's
Right.
that's pretty visible.
Yeah, you see it here.
And I agree. I think there is that balance of trying to integrate it to be compatible with the old, but it also should look as it wasn't original. That's part of the historic guidelines, but I don't know. I in general, I'm not a fan of adding massing to these homes. It's, to me, it comes to, if you want to live in an old house, then live in an old house. And maybe you're not gonna have a big kitchen and several extra bedrooms, but you live in an old house. And I feel like we see a lot of this where it's people trying to live in a modern style, which I understand where you're coming from, is that it has evolved, and it's at what point, are these additions important? And there's a lot, you can get really into the weeds with that, as far as, this thing was built in 1800s, this was built in 1700s, so should we revert it back all to its first condition? So I think there's wiggle room in there, and it's hard for us to, I think, come to a consensus on what that should look like, but I do feel the concerns about the sizing of it, and I think the styling of that kind of barn roof on that side would be pretty distracting from whatever, otherwise is a really simple architecture.
Just from a comment, the addition that was done in 2016 did step back a little bit from that original facade. We're keeping that step back so that, again, it respects the original massing. And then the addition, like it is in that 2016 edition, we are respecting that line again to give a setback to the new versus the old, just to give that perspective.
Yeah, and I think if you could go back to the elevations that show the rear again, Caitlin, I think to one of, I don't recall exactly who made this comment, but I think if you look at where the dormer was added in 2016, the top left, right? So, and you look at what Kevin has done by changing the way that's kind of was built, and he's incorporating that into the two-story addition now that he's replacing with that one-story addition. And then the lower section is being redone. That lower section exists. He's just redoing it. So you can see the roof line is still there. So I don't have the added square footage with me, but the added square footage is what's on top of that one-story addition, right? That second story, that's it. Plus the connection of that dormer to that addition. That's the additional square
It's
footage.
really like one room.
Right, exactly. So it's not, there's not a dramatic amount of additional square footage that's being added
I mean, this,
based upon that.
Well, I'd just say to that, you know, you're considering the stuff that was built 10, 20 years ago. It's
That's what we
already there.
have.
Right, but we're reacting to, there's a historic box. And we're adding something to it that's already probably too big. So I think that's kind of where,
Well,
that's,
yes.
I mean, in 1800, the kitchenelle was an added addition to
sure,
many homes because the center chimney kitchen in that middle of the house was too bloody hot.
Yeah.
So you built these kitchenelles, and whether they're one-story or two-story, it depended on the house, depending on the occupants, depending on how many boarders they were trying to put into the house and pay for it. I mean, this is so many different stories. I mean, I've worked on the Fitch Tavern in Bedford on numerous projects. And, you know, from what the original house was, and then the 1850s wing, two-story kitchenelle, the 1890s wing for the lawyer's office. I mean, it just continues to ramble on, which is, you know, sort of the, but anyway.
all right, well, we need a motion in front of us, I think, to act on. If someone like to make a motion with the structure 18 Union Street is preferably preserved.
Can I make one quick comment, and I'll be happy to make the motion?
Sure.
And that's just that photograph we were looking at also reminded me that we're talking about a quote, half house. Like a what? Half house.
Well, that's how one of the things described, right?
Yeah, cause like my house is like the traditional 5 bays, right?
Right.
Center doorway, 5 windows across the top, you know, 20 side. This is only like kind of 2/3 of that. So, I think it's worth bearing in mind that, you know, what you're starting with is kind of small. Of course, that could be most of the argument, like why make it so much bigger, but it also, on the other hand, it's also part of the argument that we need a little more space, but it
Isn't
isn't.
there also an argument, Glenn, on that, but when they bought the house, they
Yeah.
knew that.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
part I'm going
Yeah,
on in my
it cuts
mind
both
is
ways.
they pick up on these discussions of the last couple of months is, but you bought the house.
So I think,
Didn't you notice, and the second one, I want to hear what you have to say, the second one on the kitchen is, so it's 2025. I've been around a long time, they've been cooking in that kitchen my lifetime, that's a long time. I'm old enough to be a grandfather, but I'm not, but you know what I mean, so what happened in 2025? I mean,
so let me say a couple, so
I
they,
don't know.
2000, they didn't do the 2016 renovations, that they bought this house more recently, so. But let me also say, if you're looking, this is one of the larger lots in the whole area, there's 2, right, side by side. So the lot actually is conforming, except for the front yard setback and the side yard setback. It's a conforming lot, which means that aside from us having to go to the ZBA to get the approval, this is why we have to go to the ZBA, because we are raising the pitch on that thing, what, 6 inches, 4 inches? That's the reason we have to go to the ZBA. That's the only reason we have to go to the ZBA. If I'm a person buying this house and I'm looking at this lot, I see that there is, according to our standards, we have room to do some work on this house. I understand that there's also historic review, and that's the balance.
Right.
So we set up a system in the city that says, we have these lots and you're allowed to do certain things on it, but you're also constrained by the historic nature. In this instance, the square footage that's being added to this house is nominal to the house overall and the lot itself. And so the way it sits on the lot is entirely appropriate. It's not overbuilt at all.
I just like to say, it does not strike me as overly much. It feels subservient, and quite honestly, to have a covered, safe entry from the side of the house does not seem like a bridge too far. It does not feel to me like it, you know, obliterates the feel of the original box, or I don't, it's not a salt box, but just the original structure. It doesn't feel like it goes too far to me.
Make a motion.
Yes, please.
I'll propose a motion that, the house structure is historically significant and preferably preserved.
We can just say preferably preserved.
Okay. It's a bit redundant.
I know, that's the way it's, right?
I'll second that, Alan Markey.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna vote for.
Okay,
And then we're gonna vote to lift it afterward.
if.
Yeah,
that's-
a yes vote is, it means it's, there's 1 year demo delay, and then we can have a discussion vote on what we really doing it.
All right, yeah, so the motion is that the structure at 18 Union Street is preferably preserved. Mark Sindrell,
Yes.
Scott Clark,
Yes.
Chris Fay,
Yes.
Alan Markey,
Yes.
thank you. Ed Norman,
Yes.
Glenn Richards,
Yes,
Chris Southall,
Yes,
thank you. And I vote yes as well. So the motion is passed. So the house is now under a demo delay. However, if we want to have a discussion about our feelings about lifting that and approving these plans, we do that now. Anyone wanna start off the conversation?
oh, we already discussed well, quite a bit.
Yeah.
I
I mean, we can immediately make that motion and vote on it. Oh, Alan?
Yeah, the only thing I would say is, it seems to me, and I, not to speak for anybody, but I think generally speaking, the plan seems to not overbuild what's there, because the footprint is already fairly, it is what it is. And the design is, to me, enhances the property. And the only pushback I had was the porch, but even that's not something I find so egregious as not to approve the plan. So I think in general, and it's my point what I said before, which is over the centuries, people add on to homes as much as we want to preserve the integrity of the antiquity. Providing they're kind of following along the aesthetic, I don't think it's an issue for me anyway.
All right,
I feel similarly there from, there's a few quibbles here and there, but overall, I know it just doesn't seem unreasonable to me personally.
all right, well, if no one else wants to discuss the matter, if someone would like to make a motion to approve the demolition plans and for the structure 18 Union Street and lift the demo delay.
I'll make that motion.
So Mark?
Yeah.
Thank you. Second,
Yeah, sure, I'll second
all right. Thank you. All right, so motion is to approve the demolition plans for structure 18 Union Street and lift the demo delay. Mark Sindrell,
Yes.
Scott Clark,
Yes.
Chris Fay,
No.
Alan Markey,
Yes.
Ed Normer,
Yes.
Glenn Richards,
it. Yes,
Chris Suttel,
yes,
and I'll vote no. We've got
so
6 yeas, 2 nays, so that passes, so the demolition delay is lifted and plans are approved.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next on this, another demolition delay, I believe, 21 Erie Avenue.
Good evening.
If you could give your name and address for the record?
Sure, my name is Brian Cafferty. I'm an attorney with Continental Law Group, and I represent 21 Erie Ave CBC LLC. And with me is Shannon Haas, who's the manager of the LLC.
All right,
And also the owner and builder of the property.
great, thank you.
So if you don't mind, I'm gonna stand there just.
Yeah, go for it, fine, whatever. Yeah.
We're seeking to lift the demolition delay because we don't believe this is a historically significant building. The property was, the home was built in approximately 1900 according to the city records and the assessor's records. Since then, there's been some dramatic work done to the house. I went to the building department, and none of it received permits, which I think part of the reason it's structurally unsound. They have gutted the interior of the building, leaving there's no original features to it. There's nothing even remotely remarkable to it. In the exterior, similar things were done. It's vinyl siding, it's all new windows and doors. So nothing remains of whatever original character there was to this ranch home. It is not listed on the district data sheet. It's the original plan for this, it's in the R2 district. The original plan was to add a second story to the house and otherwise preserve it. But we found as we've gone through this process that because of all of the work that was done, again, without permits, it was done quite shoddy and it's structurally unsound. We couldn't put a second story on it. That's why we're seeking to lift the demolition delay. And
Just so you know, there isn't a demo delay on the property yet. Yeah, so first we'll decide whether the home is historically significant.
we don't believe it's historically significant to get a delay. We've again, the original plan was to keep the home and build up, but it's just it's a mess.
Yeah.
The foundation, they replaced the foundation with cinder block.
Unmortared CMU block.
So it's not,
And you all had an engineer look at it
Yeah,
as well?
AMSE did it,
Exactly.
and I've worked with them for a while in the Boston area. He used to work for JML Engineering. They did a lot of projects in Boston. My last property that I was invested in and built was in York, Maine. That was an 1800 barn that we did not need any historical board to go through to say we could demo it, and we saved it. It was timber frame, we balloon framed on the inside. We found ways to secure the foundation underneath. We kind of looked at creative ways of doing this, and every floor level is different. There's temporary jack posts holding up beams in the basement. Like we said, it's CMU with some spots not even mortared. The back addition is just a slab on grade. The basement stairs are old bulkhead stairs that the house was built around. It's quite a tour when you go in there.
It's unoccupied.
It's unoccupied, correct?
Been unoccupied for how long?
Since we bought it in May. I'm not sure, I guess, the lady who was living there, I know her husband had passed and then her family sold it, so, but she moved out for stuff.
She was there till May.
Yes. Yeah, and there was a lot of DIY projects, I mean, and, you know, they kept it going, it's livable, but I have preserved many houses, and this doesn't have anything, I mean, there's not even a window, a stained glass window or anything I would save. It's,
I'm shocked to hear that they think it goes back to 1900s.
Yeah.
Me too, I'm shocked by
I-
that.
I talked to the
Sounds
neighbors.
alive today, I mean.
Yeah,
Well, I think that just goes to show how they've stripped any
yeah,
historic character from the building.
Are any of the neighboring homes, like, are there any other like 1900 like homes next to it or around it?
it's mostly fifties.
Yeah.
And when I did go door to door with the neighbors, because we're also going to zoning,
Yeah.
and everyone was shocked to hear that was 1900.
Yeah.
And they all knew the owner. And yeah, there's a rubber roof in the back. It's kind of a little bit of everything.
yeah,
I feel like that's a misprint.
yeah,
There's because like, even that neighborhood,
Yeah,
right.
there wouldn't have been anything there, unless it was a farmhouse.
There's no stone foundation at all, so I don't know how you
Yeah.
remove the stone foundation and put
Yeah, I
a
think it's a
CMT block.
I think it's like, honestly,
I think it's an error too. The houses on Ferry are some are very old,
Sure, yeah,
but not on the side streets.
I like that.
yeah,
Yeah, the other houses that are share its basic one-story ranch look. There are, a few left on that street.
yeah. They
They
kind of
all
World
look
War
like,
One
you
era,
know,
48 to 50.
mid-century to maybe post-World War II
Yeah.
era. We've had, some of those come before us
Yeah.
fairly recently.
Mhm,
And then, of course, there's a lot of new builds that will probably tear down and
mhm.
so forth.
Mark?
Motion.
Thank you.
At least I missed that.
He's ready for a motion.
Oh,
He's an efficient man.
Did you make one?
Would you like to make a motion that the structure of 21 Erie Ave is historically significant?
Absolutely.
All right.
Second.
Wow, okay. We're gonna get the. Is there
So we're
faster
just
than I?
voting on historical significance.
Yes. All right, Mark Sandron, Chris
No.
Fay,
Second, yeah.
okay.
No.
Mark says no, Scott Clark,
No.
Chris Fay,
No.
Alan Marquis,
No.
Ed Neumer,
No.
Glenn Richards.
I guess I'll reluctantly also vote no, because there's nothing left to be.
Chris Sotell.
No.
I was gonna be the lone dissenter, but I'll vote nay as well. So we've determined that the structure is not historically significant and that ends your business with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes. I'll be comment that, there was, there was a case that I mentioned that we had similar cases recently, and there was another discussion on preservation of the streetscape and
Yeah,
how it seems that's part of that era, but in this case, I think we only can't make a really strong case around that. So,
yeah, and we're gonna go for something much more Newburyport. I grew up on High Street, so we really love the area and wanna make it work.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So it's gonna just add another house to make the neighborhood look kind of awkward.
It is kind of hard to get right now.
All right, so thank you.
Welcome. Good night.
105 State Street, a review of the historical advisory reports. Let's see, can we,
Expertly crafted. whatever.
I was all right. I assume we all took a look at that?
I think I responded to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was
Yeah,
appropriate.
yeah, I did as well.
there's. I think all we need to do is make a motion to approve it, or do we need to have any kind of conversation, discussion around it?
Sounds like the applicant wants to say something.
Yeah.
I would just have one request, just a clarification. On your third paragraph. You say, however, the commission expresses some concern regarding the scale and massing of proposed rear addition in relation to the original structure.
Mhm.
But then in your last sentence, which I think is more accurate, you say a few commissioners noted that the new construction, while thoughtfully articulated, may visually dominate the historic fabric when viewed obliquely from State Street. I think the term few should belong in the first sentence as well, because I think it was the same few commissioners that talked about the scale and massing and not the entire commission.
Sure.
Or it could say some commissioners.
Yeah,
On the first page.
I mean, I'd be willing to change it to some commissioners,
I
but
would personally prefer some commercial, some
Yeah.
yeah,
rather than few.
That's fine, I just,
Okay.
because otherwise it just sounds like it's the whole commission, and I don't think that was accurate.
Okay.
That's fine,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
fine with that.
all right.
That's great.
All right, so, we have a motion to approve the advisory report with the addition of some of the commission expresses.
Yeah,
signature.
yeah, I propose a motion that we accept the report with the revision to that third paragraph to say, however, some commissioners expressed blah, blah, blah. Rather than the commission. That's
Great.
sound good.
Yeah,
I'll second the motion.
you guys were too fast, but thank you. All right, Mark Sindra,
Yes.
Scott Clark,
Yes.
Chris Fay.
I don't remember this, but was this last meeting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wasn't here, so I'll
Okay.
abstain.
all right. Alan Markey,
Yes.
Glenn Richards,
yes,
Chris Sawtell,
I wasn't here last week either, so I'm gonna abstain as well.
okay. Ed Neumer,
Ditto, I wasn't, I missed the last.
okay. And I'll vote yes. So we have enough to pass it. All right, thank you.
very much.
All right.
now if I ask you the significance of ACK.
It's the call letter of the nuggets.
I don't know.
It's the airplane.
Oh, okay. I have a very different.
It's a good color on here.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we have 496A Merrimack Street.
Good evening.
Oh, yes.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Trish Wickham. I'm the owner of 496 Merrimack.
And we'd like to give us
Sure. I'm getting 8 windows replaced on the home. Only 2 are on the front side of the house. House was built in 1873, but there have been very similar to the last house, many home renos. So there's nothing inside that is original. These windows, none of the windows are original. The ones in front that are circled there are the kitchen windows. The replacements are gonna be triple pane. These are single pane right now. There's no locks on these ones even, so don't tell anybody when you go by my house. And I'm really trying, I got a grant for these. I'm trying the best I can to save my home and stay. I don't know if you guys have driven by the neighborhood, but everything is torn down and it's triple the size now around me. Pretty much the only historic home in the area, down this end of Merrimack. I love the house, but it is, I need to replace these windows. I don't know if they are 6 or over 6 because I haven't had that confirmation yet. I keep asking Action that's doing the work for me, that's donating. They're not giving me a direct answer, which I'm guessing means probably not. Maybe that's something that I can add to them myself. But again, nothing in this house is original. There was a pipe that burst 2 years ago. And I uncovered a lot of the home renos and like they were saying, a lot of structural damage. So I've had an architectural engineer, mechanical engineer come in. The town has come in, the house has never been inspected before. So I've learned all of this in the past 2 years and I have probably $150,000 in damage just to fix the kitchen that got flooded. Nothing is level, it has to, yeah, all of it. So I would love to be able to get these windows in, make this house a little bit more efficient and get approval on them. I don't have confirmation on if they're 6 over 6 yet, but I can get that added. I can order the parts.
How long have you been there?
I bought in 2018.
Okay, so not too long. Do you know anything about the history and why there's a preservation restriction?
A little
Yes.
bit. a little bit, the previous owners did it, I
What they
don't.
asked for.
They asked for it, which was very interesting to me. They subdivided the lot on Merrimack to build their house behind me.
I think it was a 6C project, is there a house behind you?
Yes,
A newer one?
yes,
Yeah,
so it
probably
was,
a condition
they
of it.
condoized the lot.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I know a little bit about, because I'm one of the walking, myself and Chris, and, on this commission for about 6 years anyway.
yeah,
There was a house that was its twin,
yeah,
that is now like the garage.
yes, I know it,
Okay,
yeah,
so you know about that.
yeah.
And so there were, people had mixed feelings about that there was another, but these are two. And there were a lot of discussion around preserving this, well, besides the section 6 thing, was that it's one of the few remaining examples, getting back to the whole small house, that one of the few, early small houses that was still a small house, hadn't
Yes.
been either totally redone or even.
And it's all I need, I love the house, but the people before me did it a real disservice. And if they cared about it and wanted to make it historic, they really did a number on it before they did.
Yeah, like those two, the pair of windows to the left of the door, obviously those aren't correct.
No, they didn't, they repainted them and didn't even put the locks back on them, so. I hope you guys can work with me on this.
Yeah, I think there are some questions, that we want, I think the number of lights in the panes, we probably do need to know that before we sign off on it. And do we know, like, what are you doing with like the surrounds?
They said they're gonna replace as is, so if there's something wrong, which there's a lot, I've replaced the roof on the house, I've added gutters. The walls were rotten from the second that I bought it, so there's a lot of rot around the sills, and they said that they will replace anything, but their goal is to just replace it as it looks today.
In kind, essentially.
Yes. They sent us the window samples, they sent us a picture, they do not have 6/6 on them, they came, and I every day have gone back and asked them, I'm guessing this is not their wheelhouse.
Right.
I've looked into what I can do myself to make it look like 6/6 and order kits to add to it. I know that's not ideal, but again, I'm trying. I was told that my house is this far from being condemned, so I'm lucky to still have it, and I don't want it torn down. I do want to stay here in Newburyport.
All right, we have a copy of the PR.
I have a letter from the building commissioner from 2 years ago as well, when he first went in there.
You do one window where the double window, the kitchen windows are.
He's gonna put two side by side.
Okay.
Yeah, so they measured out for 8 windows total. And then in my son's room on the back, it's a window that same size.
Yeah.
And in my bedroom, so yeah, there's
Yeah, can you?
three sets of those side by side windows.
See. Also replacement units, change in fenestration materials, we're not doing that. Alteration of profile or setback. Yeah. Well, it doesn't talk anything about how many lights or the style of window, does it? The PR? I'm not seeing that.
Well, the change in fenestration.
Well, yeah, fenestration,
Um,
they're not doing that, I mean, it's literally just replacing windows where there already was a window, so it's not a fenestration change, so. And it's not a storm window.
I'm not sure, are you trying to say that it's not a major?
Well, that there would be anything, prohibiting of putting in something that didn't
Oh,
have
okay.
6/6
Oh,
or
I see-
whatever.
I see what you're saying, yeah, especially if it looks like when it was documented, it didn't have it either, so,
Seems like
Correct.
there's lights in here, it seems like.
yeah.
Yeah,
Those were the windows that when I bought the house, and they had it all documented, those were the windows that were in.
and there were, that looks like 6/6, huh?
The top is, the bottom is blank.
Oh, okay. What is that picture from?
This is the PR.
Okay. What year was that?
Last one. 2018.
They must have done it right, because when I saw the house, the historic plaque wasn't on it, and this came through as I was purchasing it, so I think they did it right. Else with the sale.
This you? Are you Trisha?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I signed that when I
You signed it,
purchased the
yeah.
home, or right after, right, July, I purchased in March.
Okay. All right, well, any discussion, any big thoughts about these windows? Gentlemen? Anyone online?
No one's online. No.
My main thought is that, it's. Kind of balancing the fact that at least we have a chance to. Keep the structure, even if it's, even if it's not. A perfect example of historical accuracy, well, it isn't now either, so it's not like, so it certainly wouldn't be any worse than it is. And conceivably better depending on exactly what you're able to do.
Heat wise, definitely.
Well, yeah, but in terms of, well, yeah, our jurisdiction strictly, historical context and that kind of thing.
I do my best to keep it looking, and I'm the only single mom on the block. The house that you were mentioning, they're a young couple with one baby and their yard looks like. So I'm just saying, I'm trying to keep it the lovely little home that I have.
Yeah. Alright, let's see that picture.
I guess so we just need a motion to approve the window change, how that,
Well, you said you're still trying to find out about exactly what they're gonna look like.
I'm guessing the answer is they have no paint.
Okay.
I think we need to see that
Yeah.
before we don't know, we can't say, yeah, you can do it when we don't know what she's gonna do. I think we're leaning towards being empathetic that,
Right.
yeah, just proceed, but we need the specifics, what is it?
I sent a picture of what they sent me, and it really is just more about the thickness of it's triple paint.
Yeah.
They are not answering me, I keep asking, and I do anticipate that means that there's
Okay.
no paint, so.
Okay,
I would suggest that we need more information before we can make any.
Yeah.
yeah, perhaps you can get some more definite on this aftermarket solution that you mentioned.
I did, I sent something to you, I emailed you an aftermarket solution.
It was like a kit, that you could apply the grids on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if we had a true estimate with materials and what is proposed, we could probably be a little more certain about what's gonna happen.
Okay,
do you know when or how you can get that?
I mean, I keep trying with them, they've sent me.
Who is them?
It's Action, the company's called Action, they're out of Gloucester. I got this grant because I'm on heating assistance.
Is there anybody else you can go to for?
Yeah,
They're
that's probably,
giving them to me for free.
yeah, that's probably why they're trying to keep the price as low as possible,
Mhm.
obviously, I get the picture. The,
Eight windows, you said.
Mhm.
This, so did you find what she said she sent with this?
It was an example of what you, is it?
Yep, it was
like I
a
said,
link.
it was like
It was an
link to
Amazon
like a
link.
kit you could get on,
Okay.
you know,
so-
Amazon
and
to
this would be on the
apply.
exterior?
Yeah.
And, the former chair used to call them masking tape divider, they're not the flat, like between the things, it actually has some depth to it.
It does have some depth, and the replacement windows that I have now are what you're talking about, that they put in the house. So, I mean, I think I'm getting better
So,
than
you
the
know,
previous
yeah.
owners put in.
Well, the only
Well,
thing I could think of, if, so do you, in terms of not, losing your, your grants and all that stuff, do you need it, something definite tonight?
I would appreciate it,
What are you doing?
because
Is there a timeline or is there?
they have the windows approved, they have them on order, they're ready, we're trying to get them in before the fall.
That's what she said.
And the weather turns, they're also, I mean, the HVAC was done by the previous owners, they're going to give them many splits as well at some point. Because my
That's what I'm
house is
thinking,
not.
yeah.
Exactly as is, but you
Yeah.
still don't know.
This, the
Yeah,
windows, the
yeah,
mini splits are gonna impact me.
The windows, the replacement windows look like they're like blank, right? They're just one of a one, whatever. But I think we could, just a suggestion, see what others agree that we could condition the approval on the addition of this aftermarket solution, which would apply a three-dimensional, pattern, London pattern. That sounds reasonable to people.
And all trim and surrounds as in kind, as shown in the pictures, as is, as was
Oh, okay, I
documented.
thought that was
during
part of the
PR.
deal, they were gonna, they
You
would.
should probably condition it just in case,
Okay,
but you don't,
sure.
you don't have a rendering or anything
Oh,
like
okay.
that showing
Yeah.
them.
Sure. All right, so I guess, a motion, to approve the replacement windows with the consideration that the surrounds are all going, the surrounds and windows, number of window, but surrounds and fenestration is all the same.
Mhm.
And that, we're assuming that they're, I guess, and with the addition of the, aftermarket. Months.
Months, yeah.
Did you write that down? Cause some.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see. Motion to approve the.
And I thought you said, that their proposal was to obviously swap out the window itself, the sash, which is the movable part, and replace anything rotted in
That's
it
what they
with
told
the
me.
same thing in kind.
Yes.
Okay. And, if it's, presumably, let's say if it's a window, so it's rotted, if it's wood, it'd be replaced with wood, not
Yes.
like, cause of.
And yes, I was just mentioning these gentlemen, I'll
Okay.
probably be back, I talked to them, but they're also getting me mini splits, which, because
Okay,
the last owners did the heat and it is not heated well.
right, okay.
So, I'm really getting a wonderful grant and
Sure.
I'm enabling my house to be brought up,
Right.
to
Right.
livable conditions.
And so,
That's
What
true.
I had, it was a full replacement of the windows.
I don't know how it's
with the-
historical.
With the condition that the surrounds and
Thank you.
administration remain the
Right.
same. And the aftermarket one.
If I could see the previous one.
Yeah,
It's,
the
it's installed.
reason there's a preservation.
What I have here is-
On it, just because the previous owner needed to do that, so they can make money off the real estate.
I had a feeling. There.
That's what they had to like. But-
Okay, so,
Thank you.
can we have a motion to approve the window replacements to 496A Merrimack Street with the condition that the surrounds and fenestration will remain in kind, and the aftermarket, applied buttons will be used.
Or installed, whatever.
Be installed.
So moved,
Okay.
says Glenn.
That's a mouthful, I know. Let's see. Second from someone?
Sure.
Let's see here. All right, so, Mark,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
and Chris,
Yes.
Alan Markey,
Yes.
Ed Normer,
Yes.
Glenn Richards,
Yes,
Chris Sartell.
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well. All right, so that motion is passed.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it, everybody.
Yeah.
My heating bill appreciates it.
good luck with the property and, and we certainly hope you continue to
Keeping
try
it, yeah.
to, keep it up as best you can.
I keep trying, yeah, it's gonna be a long haul to fix it,
Yeah.
but, we love living here, and I came here after my divorce, it's been a great place to raise my kids, so, and But I was interested hearing, Chris, right, what you were saying, I think that is exactly why they did that, and they subdivided the lot, because I don't think they could make it unless they condoized.
Right.
It's kind of crazy what's going on in my part of town right now.
Well, not to mention.
All parts.
Yeah, oh, the thing on the corner, I was listening to you guys talk about it, I can't.
Well, thank you for your
Oh,
patience.
And the red hat, the one, I think he just put that up today, 3 million, 2.9. 494,
Good.
yeah, it's
The vinyl, the thing in the back.
In the back.
Tucked in the back, yeah,
3 million, she sold it for 800 a year ago.
I think that's a stretch.
Yeah, I do too, I saw it, I was like, that's, thank you all very
Thank you
much, I
again.
appreciate it, have a good night.
Thank you.
Right, that is the end of our general business. Approval of the minutes. I don't know who all was here, does someone? Are there any problems or issues with the minutes, first of all?
Didn't see any.
We had to sort of stay the previous minutes, right?
Oh, that's right, do we have?
Yeah.
You have that, Caitlin, wasn't there one that you didn't have
I
enough?
think maybe there was one, I'll have to add it to the.
Next one, okay. Didn't make it to the.
No.
the report, we can't do it, all right, so, yeah, if anyone would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of July 24th.
I wasn't here.
Well,
Yes, sure. All right, did you make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I'll second it.
thank you. All right.
Sure.
All right, motion to approve the minutes 7/24/25, Mark,
Yes.
Scott Clark?
Yep.
All right, Chris May,
Abstain. Wasn't here.
Ellen Markey,
Yes.
Ed Normer,
Staying, I wasn't here.
Glenn,
Yes.
Chris Hotel,
Abstaining as I was not there.
all right. I'll vote yes. And hey, that motion passes, so those have been approved. What, oh, my.
The color. Very schmancy.
It was to save time, really. All right, any updates for me?
How are you doing with getting input from your fellow commissioners on?
I have got some input, I think from a couple of you, and from you, Chris did. If anybody else has any more to add to, for what we might want to propose as far as like amendments or changes to either procedural
You were
or.
here, didn't you, when Eddie Core was here, and we talked about this?
I was not, I said like 2 or 3 meetings ago.
Do I need to put in writing, the only thing I had was the 3-year, you know,
Yeah,
I think Chris.
moving from a 1-year to a 3-year, I think is.
yeah. All right,
I think I think we should do
but
it.
yeah, if anything else you guys have, if you can send them my way, then maybe the next meeting will bring that up as a topic so we can informally talk about it.
Sounds good.
Had nothing else. There was like a email that somebody sent over for which is it?
Yeah,
Yes, I just sent it this afternoon.
That one.
That, and that's the one that is like missing the back of the house.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that, yeah.
That's really too bad, I always wondered. About that house, it would like do something.
I don't know what we.
It was more of a
Heads up.
heads up, yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of, if we're kind of waiting, I had a brief discussion with Andy about it.
But they may have.
We're waiting to hear if the building commissioner and or fire department feels it needs to come down right away. Or if it should go through a general public hearing.
Interesting. All right, well, that's all I have, unless anyone else has anything, I'd take a motion to adjourn or something. No way, Mark. All right, all in favor of adjourning?
Yay.
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 You're late because your car wouldn't start.
Okay, that
Bye.
motion is passed. Thank you all.
And that's switch car.